topics and opinions expressed on the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
Welcome to my radio and TV show, Debi Changes Lives. I'm Debi, your certified holistic health coach. I revitalize people's lives by helping identify the root causes of their health and mindset issues and create a custom natural holistic strategy to address them in the areas of mind, body, and soul. As a health coach, I'm not allowed to say that I heal, treat, cure, prevent, or diagnose any diseases. I can certainly make your body more efficient by reducing symptoms. You'll feel better, be more productive, and enjoy life more. And pretty much, I am one of those people, and there's not many of them, that have released 70 pounds, had a health transformation, and kept it off for over a decade. I even became a half marathon runner at the age of 51, when I never ran during childhood or adulthood due to food problems. Mindset is the key to lasting change. And as a certified holistic health coach, I revitalize people's lives in many different areas of health and mindset. I guide you to clean, toxic-free foods and high-quality essential nutrients. My coaching is for optimizing your health, releasing weight efficiently if needed, and enhancing your mindset. You'll see and feel the differences with my coaching programs. Ask me about them at my complimentary consultation button of my link tree, which is Debi Changes Lives, DEBICHANGESLIV as in victory, ES.com/linktree, LINKTREE, and I will guide you to a better, healthier life. And right now, Right now, I'm having a holiday sale, 33% off of my group coaching program of Take Your Body Back, which is a 12-week weight release mindset coaching program where you can use a new version of you for your success. I'll be going into more details later, but you need to sign up by December 31st of 2024. With my mindset coaching, I do revitalize people. I do help people recognize that their thoughts, feelings, and emotions do trigger your actions and your results. A positive mindset is crucial to succeed in life. You can take my slide down. And the importance of releasing low vibrational energies such as fear, frustration, and doubt will slow you down and stop you. Like a hot air balloon that has ballasts, I help my clients release those emotional ballasts so they can rise up to a better, healthier life. And when they do that, they are releasing stress as well, and they're beginning to reshape their core beliefs. Now, everyone is unique and different, and today we're going to be talking about neurodiversity, and I have worked in the neurodivergent community. They are like everyday people like you and me, and they have their own issues and perspectives. Unfortunately, the medical community loves to put labels on everyone, including them, that really doesn't suit them. And if you think about it, in clothing, when someone says one size fits all, it really truly doesn't fit everybody, children and petite women. I've experienced that. And so it's just something to think about. And everyone's brains do work differently. Theirs are unique, and they do have superpowers. As Richard Branson stated, neurodivergent people excel in areas of logic, technology skills, problem solving, pattern recognition, precision, sustained concentration, analysis, and other unique cognitive functions. Some people have very high IQs, and they are change makers in the world. They do include Richard Branson and Elon Musk, and others that I might have thought of them are Albert Einstein and Bill Gates and so many others. My guest today is Angela Legh. She is best known for her fantasy book series, and she obviously is an author, the Bella Santini Chronicles, that gives children and their parents tools and techniques for balancing their emotions. Her themes are wrapped around her heroine, who does also discover that she has superpowers, and she is withstands belittlement and as well as bullying. For over 50 years, Angela has experienced abuse, bullying, and belittlement. And through that exposure, she developed an emotional management method. Angela has been featured in the US Today. She is syndicated in Los Angeles Tribune magazine and newspapers as a columnist, and she has countless many other media exposures. Angela is an award-winning international best-selling author and has published 10 books. Her current project is producing a show called Thriving Women Network entitled Children's Lives Matter. All her books of the Bella Santini Chronicles have won the Mother's Choice Gold Medal Award, as well as the Golden Wizard Book Prize recipient. In 2024, she was honored with the White House Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. And in 2023, she received the Writer's Year from Los Angeles Tribune. Today, we'll be discussing neurodiversity is a superpower, and to uplift these people, children and adults. So let's welcome Angela Legh, the award-winning children's book series children's book series Bella Santini Chronicles, and the producer of the streaming series Children's Lives Matter on E360
Yes.
TV.com. Angela, welcome to my show.
Thank you so much, Debbie, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak with your audience and hopefully give them some tips and tricks that help them.
It's my pleasure. I'm looking forward to those tips and tricks, and I'll tune in with some ideas as well.
Okay.
Now, why do you say neurodiversity is a superpower?
You know, you said it already. Everybody has a differently wired brain. We talk about auditory learners or kinesthetic learners or rote learners, and that just indicates that their brain works in a certain way and they learn in that way. And so let's just let go of those labels and say, if my kid is labeled as ADHD, okay. So there are some things that brain wiring makes challenging, but there are other things that brain wiring makes a gift. And as you read that list of all the gifts that Richard Branson was talking about, it's so true that if we can take away the stigma and teach our children that, yeah, so your brain's a little different, but guess what? You can do this and this. Then all of a sudden they don't feel different, separate, and pushed away.
And and it's very important in our society not to judge.
Yeah.
Because it just makes those people that we're talking about feel really insecure, and we don't want them to feel that way.
No.
Don't you agree? Because everyone has a value and is here for a unique purpose in life.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with you on that.
Yes. And, nobody is perfect. Everybody has little issues here and there.
Oh, today I wrote an article about Dr. Donald Epstein, and one of the things that he puts forth is, you're not enough and you're never going to be enough. And then he explains it. It's like some of us have this yearning inside to be more, do more, and to serve humanity. But the idea that, one of the questions he asked me when I was interviewing him for the article was, would you give your gifts to the world even if you weren't credited for giving them? And I said, yes, because the world needs to hear what I have to say. It's not about me. It's information that my soul brings in, and it has nothing to do with me or my ego. And so I don't care if my name is associated with it or not. It's like, as long as the message gets out.
Yeah, everyone is kind of like a tuning fork, or people tune into certain channels, a channel,
Yeah.
and we have something to say and something to help people with if they want to hear it.
Yeah, and people will resonate with your message if it works for them, and they don't have to, it's like there's enough people in this world that I can speak about the things that I speak about and serve the people that I serve, and you can do the same with the people you serve, and it's okay if there's no overlap because we both end up serving.
Exactly. And we're all growing in life. I mean, I'm constantly learning new things and growing and accepting new ideas. I'm like, wow, this is
Mhm.
fascinating. I guess I have a lot of curiosity.
Ah, that's a gift too.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, I know that, parents, when they hear things about their kids, especially
Mhm.
when they get labels, and they're finding out that their child has a neurodiversity issue. What advice do you have when they get this diagnosis?
Well, it's kind of a double-edged sword because in order to get services for your child, you have to have a diagnosis.
Yes.
So you put your child through all this testing and get a diagnosis. But the important thing for parents is to let the child know that while there is this label attached that gets them services, it doesn't describe the child because
Yes.
the child is so much more than that label.
Yes. And like I described before, one label doesn't fit all. They
No, it
label
sure doesn't.
a really broad spectrum label
Exactly. Yeah.
because
Your
they,
ADHD may be different than mine. And so it's like, yeah.
yeah, some people are labeled with the autistic spectrum disorder because they can't figure out what kind of label that individual has. And
Yeah.
it's not fair because it's associated with, another, level of that, if you think about it. And, but the whole point is you do need these labels for services, whether it's in school and way back when I was helping others, you need it for for really early developmental, um, regional center services,
Mhm.
as well as, at that time, medical insurance didn't cover it, and I don't know if it does now, but it wasn't. And it, it's really important for these kids to have these services because
Absolutely.
it helps develop them to be able to fine tune and relax their nervous system, so to speak.
Mhm.
And it's really important for you to advocate for your child and don't let the educational system put them somewhere where you don't want them to be,
Right.
and fight for that. I've heard from one kindergarten teacher, they were so grateful that someone fought
Mm.
for their child to be mainstreamed.
Yeah, and for some kids, being mainstreamed could be more harmful than helpful. So the parent is the best person to decide what is beneficial for their child.
Yes.
And I would just say, yes, be an advocate for your child, whether it means that you're advocating for them to be in a special class or in a regular class.
Yes.
I also am a very big advocate for just destigmatizing the whole thing.
Yeah, I
And
am too. I am too.
yeah,
Some
it's like,
judgments of others, you really need to double check them because kids will imitate others.
well, it's kids will
Act others.
mimic what they see adults do. And so it's
Yeah, so that's the whole thing is that you want them to be in an environment that's going to help them grow.
yeah, and sometimes adversity helps you grow. So
Yeah.
that's something to think about too, but we all of us as moms, we want our child to, be safe and happy and feel like they are, they're not held out as a separate thing, a person who's different. And so even at a young age, I think our schools should teach children what is neurodiversity.
Yes.
So all of a sudden, when there's a child who may go into an emotional breakdown over a small thing, seemingly small thing, they understand, okay, that person's brain was overloaded in this moment.
Yeah.
And so we need to provide quiet space for that kid instead of judging that kid is weird.
Exactly. Exactly. And the parents need to support that too,
Mhm.
of the other children. And the whole point is that with people that have, neurodiversity, they they need to have certain needs early on so they can succeed as an adults later on. And providing those needs are so important. And that's why you need to fight for your child.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you kind of touched about this a little bit, but we're going to go into this a little bit more. And emotions are a big thing for everybody, whether it's adults or kids. Whatever. But neurodiversity children sometimes it's a mystery what's going on because possibly they can't communicate it quite well, especially when they're young.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they tend to have meltdowns. So, what is your advice when for a parent with a child is having a meltdown?
I did a show on neurodiversity, an episode on Children's Lives Matter.
Hmm.
And one of the videos we showed on it was an autistic woman talking about having those emotional breakdowns. And what she said is, rather than fight against it, to say, hey, I know you're feeling overwhelmed. I get it. This is big for you. And come in with a empathy and understanding and compassion for what that child is going through, even if it means you're embarrassed in the grocery store or that you're embarrassed in front of, the people playing tennis. I don't know. So it's about letting go of your needs in that moment and really attending to the child's needs.
They do have to attend to the child's needs because people are going to, wondering what's going on. And, approaching it that way is actually a very beneficial way of doing it. I One thing with meltdowns, they can't, emotional meltdowns can happen also because there's something going on with their gut. They're uncomfortable, especially if they can't
Yeah.
communicate. Possibly something they ate, possibly something that it could also something happened at school, and what it really is a frustration overload,
Mhm.
and sometimes you want to redirect into something like an activity to be more pleasant that the child likes, and
Mhm.
or make something into a game.
You
So
know, it's I am a huge advocate about emotional expression, and one of the things that I talk frequently about is the repression of emotions and how that can change your health.
Mhm.
And it also, emotional repression will feed into how you react to the world around you.
Mhm.
And so I would never advocate for a parent to kind of repress their child's emotion, but
Redirecting, not
redirection,
repressing. It's just kind of,
yeah, it's like catching their attention,
yes.
getting them into, something that interests them, and all of a sudden they can kind of let go of that frustration.
Yes. I mean, adults need redirection too sometimes.
Sometimes I
It
need
should
it.
be said that way. But it's just opening up a broader perspective of, another way of thinking,
Mhm.
you know? So, but yeah, nutrition for these kiddos, um, for any kiddo, but very especially for these kiddos, they tend to have a gut issue. And so you got to make sure they have a clean, toxic-free foods that they're eating. And then maybe look at some foods that may be causing the reaction, list the things that
Mhm.
haven't, you know, and then take one of them away and see if that, will help in the future. Um, all these things are ideas, but there's also other things that you can do with, supplementation that helps with cognition. And those things really will help people feel more comfortable in life. And they're just all natural products that are meant to help
Mm.
with cognition, help with focus and memory. Because it could be those issues too. You never know.
Yeah, when you have ADHD, focus is kind of a problem because it's going all over the place. But the superpower about that is that you can multitask better than anyone else. And so it's
True.
understanding where the child's strengths are,
Mhm.
focusing on those strengths, understanding where their weaknesses are, and helping them not play down their weakness, but smooth through those weak parts.
Yeah. And saying it's okay.
Yeah, and it's okay to feel bad about this.
Mhm. It's okay. I'm glad and also saying I'm glad you're recognizing it.
Yeah,
Because when you recognize it, then you can choose on your own to do something else.
yeah.
So that's the whole point. But when they're not communicating well early on in life, it's kind of hard to figure out what's going on. And that's some things that I recommend for people.
Well, I really loved your, talking about the foods that the kids eat because even with the youngest babies, when their stomach is in upheaval, they're going to react and have a trauma outbreak. So it's like it doesn't matter. That happens to adults too. So
Yeah,
it's like just understanding that if you want to smooth the way for your child, then paying attention to what they're consuming is definitely helpful.
yeah. And some signs of it, is unusual. What I call waterfall regurgitation is probably the most pleasant thing to say.
Mm, yeah,
Some people call some people don't project, but
mhm,
my whole point is there's something wrong going with the gut,
yeah,
and find out a specialist that you can see. Some of these kids have low tone. Um, you need to figure out that you may need physical PT treatments and things like that. I mean, there's a lot of
mhm,
different surfaces. There's ABA, there's PT, there's OT, which is occupational therapies, and then there's social skills and all this other stuff that you really need to do with your child, so they feel better about themselves, and they don't have so many questions and concerns later on in life.
Yeah. It's about the child seeing themselves as normal.
Yes,
Imagine that.
yes, and they do develop a chip on their shoulder. And they just need to realize that people have different chips on their shoulder, and not
I have
necessarily.
the purple hair chip.
Yeah. I mean, for instance, I'm dyslexic. I say things backwards, or I write things backwards, or I misspell things. So my whole point is, and I also add things wrong sometimes, but sometimes I focus and I don't, and sometimes it comes across with stress. And
And
remember,
you are aware of it,
Mhm.
and you use what tools you can to, you know, smooth your way through those things.
Yeah, but I was never diagnosed as a child.
Yeah.
They didn't diagnose people like that. They said, "Oh, you just have a speech impediment."
Mm. Yeah. Mm.
So, but those are the type of things that, it doesn't hurt to get, find out what's going on with your child. I hate the word diagnose, okay?
Mm.
But it doesn't hurt to find out what's going on with your child or adult,
Mhm.
because a lot of adults find out later on, oh, I'm actually like this.
It's
Because they
a lot of adults end up learning that they have, that what's called a disability. I think it's an ability, but they find out when their kid is tested and they get tested.
yes,
And so they didn't, they made it all the way through childhood without knowing that they had different abilities. And now as an adult, they can figure it out and work with it.
and they begin to realize it. Yeah, I mean, I also had reading problems. I had a they
Well, yeah, with dyslexia,
yeah, so
absolutely.
they taught me how to read going like this, and Evelyn Woods used to teach people that. Where you go down the paragraph and you scan for the most important words, and you skim read the words, and they would have these little line things, and slides that make you focus on the lines. And
Mm.
either that or my parents never told me I had issues. One of the two. But my whole point is, it doesn't hurt to tell your child you need some special things for you, but it doesn't mean that you're much different from anybody else.
Right, and this idea of being the same as everybody else, oh my gosh, what about individuality?
I
It's like, I don't want to be the person just like my next door neighbor. I wanna be me.
and I got
And
you probably don't like this cartoon, but it reminds me of SpongeBob. SpongeBob that had no pores anymore because I'm normal. So that's my whole point. It,
no
it's
more holes, I guess, is normal.
normal. And I would never watch SpongeBob unless my child was watching SpongeBob.
Me
Anyway,
too.
but it's just funny how he said that. I'm normal.
Yeah. Well, I would never say I'm normal. I wouldn't say you're normal because to me, being normal is like you're less than because you're not being yourself.
And if you're into computer, well, this is all computer language. It's vanilla. Right? So everyone
Yeah.
needs to have their own sparkle, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. It's that uniqueness that everybody has, that magic that everybody has is that which makes them colorful in the world.
Exactly, exactly. Um, I don't know about you, but I'm very much an introvert. And the way I'm talking right now, you probably don't even know that. But it took a long time as an adult to start expressing myself in a different way. And I and I also had the health transformation made a big difference in my life. And I had a big big difference in career change too.
Yeah.
But my whole point is, like I said before, you grow, you learn things, and then you become very passionate about sharing something and helping people out. And that's what I became when I had my transformation. It's like, I cannot keep this to myself. And I wasn't a great speaker at the beginning. And at times I have my issues. I'm certainly not perfect. But I just try to enjoy myself more when I make mistakes. I just do my
Beautiful. Yeah.
best
It-
to laugh it off.
yeah. Mistakes. Are they the end of the world?
No, they're learning lessons.
Yeah. It's an opportunity to see what you've done and how can you do it different.
Exactly, exactly. And that's what I tell a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because there's no direct direction to a certain life purpose, I guess is the best way.
There's no one path. Yeah.
There's no one path. No, my path has been very curvy, and
Yeah.
I really feel I've been guided, through this path for a reason. I am doing this for a reason right now, and now it's my time to, help others and help them, find their path of how to help somebody else. And you know what? It's such a wonderful feeling when somebody has a breakthrough because of your advice. I'm sure you felt that way too.
It's I don't identify with my work as if it's mine because I channel it from, well, the angelic realm. And so it's like, I don't, my ego is not involved. And I, I like when people see value in the work because I know that it's impacting them. But that's about it for me. I am not, like I don't say I help people do this or that because it's not me.
Yeah. But your books are a very, they give people ideas to look at. And like you see, emotional balance is what your intro had in there. And you actually learned how to emotionally um, have methods to balance that as well. And you try to give people tools so they can help their children and their children begin to realize it too. And, Bella, you know, she went through, I actually read the books backwards. I think I started with not the trolls. I started with, the ones about, the troll war. And I'm
Yeah.
like, missing something. But it didn't really matter because it gave me a feeling, because you kind of gave some history on that, a little bit here and there. And it gave me a feeling that she went through something and she's still going through it. And then she discovers she's really somebody else's daughter.
Yeah, which was a huge shock for her.
Yeah.
I mean, like all my life is a lie is how she took it. And
Exactly. So that kind of relates to somebody who, got adopted, if you think about it.
it's very much in the parents guide that I have in the back of the book, I tie that to adoption. And I also try and bring in a perspective that because too many adopted kids feel that they were thrown out, that they were given up, that
Yeah.
they're not lovable. And
Yes.
so having them understand, hey, look, your mother, she knew she couldn't provide you with the best.
Yes.
So she gave you to someone she thought could.
Exactly.
And she did that as a gift to you and it was a huge sacrifice for her.
Yes.
And when you shift that paradigm away from I was thrown out into my mom loved me so much, she gave me to someone who could truly raise me in a way that would be healthy for me.
Exactly. But some of these kids, some of them, I'm not saying all of them, some of them actually rebel against that. And the parents have a hard time because they don't tell them right away they're
Mm,
the love chosen one.
yeah.
And, to tell you the truth, I'm not boohooing people like that. Nobody's given a parent manual on kids. They
That's right.
in their mind that was the right thing to do. I mean,
Yeah.
my parents weren't the greatest parents either,
Well,
I
I could say the
really
same.
didn't know that when I was growing up. I really didn't know that until I actually got married and I saw my husband's mother. I'm like, that's what a mother is. So we all make mistakes, and we just, it just boils down to you're loved and
Mhm.
you're provided for, and they've done everything you possibly, they could do for you. And remember, your parents are not perfect. And forgive them.
Nobody's perfect, frankly. And
Yeah,
yeah.
for you. Um, I had a sense of abandonment only because I was the third child and they didn't pay attention to me.
Mm.
But I
Mhm.
was a creative soul and was making art projects, doing this and that. I was keeping myself preoccupied and no one knew. I wasn't a troubled child. But I didn't realize that until very, very later on when people were saying, "Well, you have some issues in your childhood." Da, 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 da. I'm like, um, well, first of all, I forgive my parents,
Mhm.
for being they
'Cause they
didn't
did the best they could given what they knew.
yeah, and they weren't, they didn't know how to be parents. Just put it that way. But again, their parents weren't all that great either.
Boom. That's the key. It's like there's this generational trauma of default parenting done over and over again, but I think that things are changing, and
Mhm.
the new generation, they're saying, "No, I'm not gonna parent exactly like my parents did. I see where they went wrong, and I'm gonna try and do better." And there is so much information available for people to choose conscious parenting,
Mhm.
and once they do that, that whole generational trauma chain is broken,
Yeah.
which is a beautiful thing.
And I was a person that was like, "Oh, I don't want to be like my mother." I
Yeah.
was petrified when I was pregnant, but I got over it.
I was I was the I'm not gonna be like my father, so
Okay. Okay. Good thing, right? All right. So Angela, what do you have to offer our audience today?
you know,
Can you bring up a slide?
I do have an offer. My books, teach kids emotional intelligence, but also way perspectives that are conscious of how to look at things in the world. And so, yes, they've won many awards, and you don't have to believe me because there's the first 2 chapters of the first book, Bella Santini in the Troll War, is freely available on my website to download.
I think you gave me everlasting change. Sorry.
No, that's right. In the land
Okay.
of everlasting change.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
You can
and
look at the first 2 chapters and see if that book resonates with you, and, I could tell you what the reader gains from the first 2 chapters, but I'll leave it to you to figure it out.
okay. You pretty much go to her website and there's a forward slash books. So that's
Mhm.
angelalegh.com/books. The last
Correct.
name is spelled Legh. Okay.
Yes.
And I, they're really great books. They're kind of like a Harry Potter book.
I have had reviews that say that. Yeah.
It's fairies and things like that. And so, it's going to, the heroine's a female. So it's going to, girls will love it. And I've been recommending it to parents.
And even though my friend's 11-year-old son would put down his electronic gaming thing and say, "Mom, can you read me that book?" So
Cool.
that's pretty powerful, I think.
Pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is a wonderful offer, just giving you a little tidbit of what the book is like, because people really get a sense of it. And I want to thank you for being my guest today. Will you be a guest again?
I would love to be a guest again.
This would be fun. I would love
Yeah.
to have you back. And I want you to stick around for closing remarks, because I'm going to try to make time for them.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you. So remember, I do revitalize your life in many different areas of health and mindset. I do help you correct that gut so you can have mental clarity, because I guide you to clean, toxic-free foods and high-quality essential nutrient products that will reduce symptoms and you'll feel better, possibly release some weight. It certainly will uplift your mood and you feel better, right? And with my mindset coaching, I help you reshape your core beliefs, release stress, emotions, and entanglements from the past. Of course, my health optimization as well as my weight release will make your body more efficient. And of course, my mindset will make your mindset more enhanced. So ask me about my programs at my complimentary consultation button of my link tree, which is at Debi Changes Lives, DebiChanges Live as in Victory ES.com/linktree, LINKTREE. And there you get to know me, I get to know you. I will guide you to your optimum health. And it starts with 1 or 2 health assessments. And the first one is actually complimentary, which is the health evaluation, where you rate your symptoms in the last 30 days in 4 categories of health. Some questions are repeated, so please answer them all and you'll get an accurate health score. And I will review it with you. If you move forward with my services, I'll give you a custom natural holistic strategy for you as well. And we'll monitor this on a monthly basis to see your progress. And I have 2 different body Zyto scans. I prefer to do the Zyto Link because I can do it internationally, remotely, obviously. And I actually sent one to South Africa, of all places. Zyto Link is a transdermal optical imaging app that I share to your phone. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be scanning your face for 30 seconds. It's only looking at blood flow for components of energetic, functional, emotional, and different body systems and lifestyles. And it creates a wellness report, not a diagnosis, of biomarkers out of range and products and services that bring it back into range. It's quite intensive, so I do review it with you. The cost of the scan is $50, and the price will go up in January. And if you move forward with a service, a program or a product, I'll give you a $25 discount on one of them. Now, that Zyto Link is a transdermal optical imaging app. It's also known as TOI, and you can actually look up for its accuracy at pubmed.gov. People are really amazed what their body tells them through the scan. And you'll be too. Are you curious? Get your first Zyto Link done now. And on this site, I have my programs. If you can go to the next slide, please. Thank you. Take Your Body Back is my 12-week weight release mindset coaching program that you can be using a new version of you to drive you to success. And pretty much all the meetings are on Zoom, but the first one's private to you because I go through those health assessments. Then I give you a choice of 2 different meal plans, directions on one, and I give you instructions how to create that new version of you that'll propel you with the emotion and passion to achieve your health and weight transformational goals throughout your journey. The rest of the coaching will be celebrating your wins, and I'll be getting you over your gaps with health and mindset tips. you will become a new you. And the coaching is the same for group coaching as well as private coaching. Now, if you want more information on that, you need to go back one slide. I'm not quite where I need more information on that. You need to go to Holistic Self-Care to see what more details, or you can ask me questions here. Just remember my prices went up. YFAST is an intermittent fasting program that gets your cells and body humming, and in turn boosts your metabolism, rich, dense nutrition, high quality essential nutrients, and program with exercises and recipes. Remember, intermittent fasting repairs cells, brings down inflammation, and gives you mental clarity. Here you can ask me questions. If you feel like you need some coaching, you can choose a 2-week or 4-week program to get started, and you can also purchase more if you want to. With mindset enhancement as well as health optimization, you can use smaller programs like this, but truly those may be a longer journey. So you may want a longer program, which will save you money, or I can create a custom program for you. Now go to the next slide. Now with my holiday sale, which is 33% off my group coaching, Take Your Body Back. I've already explained the 12-week program. This is your opportunity to reach out to me and ask me questions if you're really interested. Also on that same link is where you would pay for the program. And you need to do that before December 31st of 2024. And guess what? You can pick when you want to start. You don't need to start right now. You can pick sometime next year. And with group coaching, you need at least 4 people to fill a group before it will start. And for a limited time, I'm offering Debi's coaching chats, which is a 30-minute complimentary consultation in an intimate group setting. It's not recorded. And what happens is that a survey picks a topic. You'll learn how to optimize your health, ways to release stress and emotions, efficiently release weight, how to harmonize your hormones, body balance, creating winning mindset, utilize that mindset for weight and health transformations, and creating a new version of you in that avatar board that I described that will propel you with emotion and passion to achieve your health and weight transformation goals throughout the journey. This is at Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. And you need to sign up for it. And that is at Debi Changes Lives, DebiChangesLives, Liv as in victory.com, es.com. And this time /chats, CHTS. And when you do that, you learn what my coaching is all about. And finally, learn more about alternative health, programs, products, and services, upcoming shows, events, and promos by subscribing to my newsletter at DebiChangesLives.com /radio TV show. And I give you a gift of the 30-day Health and Mindset Daily Action Journal, where you're going to record your gratitudes, thoughts, feelings, emotions, the foods that you ate, the water you drank, exercise you've done, and nutritional products you took on a daily basis. You can even track your measurements. And then you want to review it on a daily, weekly, monthly basis so you can see your wins and celebrate them. Find your gaps to work on. If you need some help with your gaps, contact me for coaching. And I'm sure that you found this show educational, eye-opening, and enjoyed it. Reach out to me for my programs, products, services, and reach out to Angela for her book and her offer. Do we have time for Angela to come back?
Hello again.
Hello again. So you have anything else to say?
Oh, one of the tips that I give kids in my books is how to face a difficult emotion. And it's called focused attention. So by focusing your attention on the emotion, you're disconnecting your mind from the circumstances. And when your mind dwells on the circumstances, it prolongs the feeling. Yep, So
I know.
that focused attention is as simple as feeling, naming, and allowing. So you feel the feeling, note it. Where is it? How to sharp, big ball of rubber. What does it feel like? Name it. It feels like blah, blah, and allow it. It's okay for me to feel that way.
Coolness. I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Deceptively simple, but very much works.
Yeah, it sounds like it would. Well, thank you for being on my show. I need to close it out now.
Okay.
So continue to enjoy my radio and TV show, Debi Changes Lives, on Thursdays at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, where your holistic journey begins.